Well, I think we saw some spurts of some pretty good play, but it wasn't the prettiest painting picture, right? There was a lot of whistles and a lot of stoppage. We sent them to the line a little bit too much and gave up a few too many offensive rebounds, right? So it was kind of a stop-start game. But, there was some really good spurts when we broke it open and things. But, yeah, we've got some room for improvement, that's for sure.
You did a lot of, 5 or 6 stops in a row, stretches at all during the game. Was that just unfamiliarity with where each other is, do you think?
I think we a lot of those got broken up by free throws, right? I think so. There was just so many. We're trying to be a little more aggressive, as you know. We're trying to get our hands involved in the ball a little bit more. We got called for a lot of them tonight. There was a ton of loose ball fouls on us on the rebounding too, but I don't know. At least we're hitting some people on those. I'm not gonna go be too disappointed in that, right? But yeah, we pride ourselves in our consecutive stops and some big long strings. I think you're kind of referring to some of those preseason games. I think we had a couple 11 in a rows in a couple games, but yeah, we'll have to stay on them about that a little bit.
I mean, how much of what you're talking about was first game of the year, and how much it was basically you've had one exhibition game in the last 2 weeks or something like that?
Yeah, I think they're both related, right? I think they're both related. There's a lot of rough edges out there. I think you saw that. I mean, if you watched last night too, I think that game was 4-2 after 6 minutes or something, right? It's a nervousness to the start of the season. It's very few minutes for a lot of guys in the preseason. There's new pieces, and again, I threw a whole bunch of different lineups out there tonight, right? And some of that'll take some time to get familiar as well. I don't know if we wouldn't have probably fouled so much and rebounded a bit better, it probably would have looked a whole lot better. Oh, I like the acceptance of JV and Serge to play their roles. They tried to sneak us and go small. They're late out of a timeout, and I just put JV back in less than a minute ago, and I told them before the game, I said that's what they're going to do. They're going to go to a timeout, and you have just entered. And in the past, we might not have made that switch because it was kind of JV's rotation, but we went in there and didn't let Love get off any 3 balls, right, to kind of get further back in the game. Again, I thought Kawhi, he created a lot of opportunities for himself, but again, I don't know. I think there's some of those nights that a lot of those are going to go in, and he's going to parade a lot more to the free throw line. I thought they roughed him up pretty good, and he only shot 6 free throws. So I think there's you see that the ability is there for him to get shots, and I think some nights those are going to be some big numbers like that. And Kyle was awesome tonight, right? Kyle was awesome.
Pre-game, you were talking about your relationship with Jonas and going to Lithuania with him. How long have you known he's had that passing and out of the post?
He is actually a pretty good passer, right? And probably about 4 years ago when I first went over there and really started working on some up-the-court ball handling and firing the ball around a little bit more just because I wanted to see what his skill level was like. So it's been a little while, but I think we're giving him a little organization on where those cuts are coming from, and he's finding them. Willing passer. That's good. That's a good thing. He's a willing passer.
The one he had with OG that ended up with a dunk right in front of your bench was that sort of reactive play that he probably doesn't make this time last year.
I agree with you, right? I think you're right. I think again we had a couple of really cool possessions like that when it didn't look like much was happening, and all of a sudden, boom! It was a back cut and maybe a kick out or another back cut or something, and we were finding some stuff. And that's again a little bit of the improvisation that we need to be able to play with because teams are going to throw so many good things. I mean, I liked it. We hadn't spent a ton of time working on double teams and stuff, and obviously they went to double Kawhi. I think we found some switching up the floor step-ups to run to get some smaller guys on him, and then they came and doubled, and he threw a couple bullets out of there that guys didn't handle very well. But again, it'll come to a better rhythm hopefully as we get to know each other a little bit more.
Can you talk a bit about Serge's game tonight? He's struggled a bit from the floor from the shot, but is he just getting familiar to his new role? You think?
You know what? I think would you go 2 for 10? 2 for 10 from the field. Yet I think he played pretty well. Right, I really do. I think he was on the glass. He had 6 fouls, and I think 5 of them were loose ball fouls. But it's kind of one of the things that's changed for him, right? He's been standing around the 3-point line, not getting much of a chance to offensive rebound. He got his hands on some. He went for a lot more. He had some really nice moves after getting them that just kind of rolled off. So I'm not going to get real caught up with the 2 for 10 for him because I thought he played hard, played unselfishly for the team, and did a lot of positive things.
First win as head coach. What does tonight mean to you?
Well, it's pretty cool, right? It's good to get it done. It was a little bit nerve-wracking there towards the end. It's kind of one of the coaching when you get a nice lead and all of a sudden it starts shrinking down there towards the end. You just that clock seems to be moving really slow, but really cool to get it done, and now we can quit talking about that and get ready to start coaching, right?
Kyle didn't play a lot in the preseason and didn't shoot the ball particularly well in the preseason either, and then tonight he almost couldn't miss. Were you confident that when the games mattered, you would just become different?
Yep, I was. He's been really good in his effort and his leadership and his working, and I just think that, a lot of these veteran guys, they can't just quite get their motor going quite enough to the level it needs to in the preseason anymore after 10 or 12 years. I think you see that around the league quite a bit. But he's worked very hard. He's practiced really well, and he just was waiting for the lights to come on.
What did you like from Fred? It seems like he's been significantly quicker this year.
Yeah, he's really almost a duplicate version of Kyle, right? They're super high Q, both really good in the pick and roll. Both will attack the rim when we really need something, right? And he's a really, really good defender, right? He's not only good at getting underneath people and getting into the ball, he's also very smart in his rotations and all that stuff defensively. And I usually would have probably ran that out with him at the end, typical of last season. But I just felt we needed a little injection of something else there the last few minutes, so I went back with Pascal, who also had a really nice game tonight.